remember it very well.
It's just, that's all it is. I got a new video.
I got a new video. Okay.
Okay. Hey, Eurovision fam, it's Alesia. And for one last time, really, this Eurovision season, I guess I have to do my song. I'm joined by some people from Portugal, so they're going to join in with me. That looks very cool. I got a new video. I got a new video. I got a new video. All right. So we're waiting for other people to join. I want to just say for the record, I'm being very, very festive today because I've got my French support outfit on. Even though I'm not necessarily rooting just for France, I'm rooting honestly for everyone. So we just saw the family show, and I'm going to go through and talk about each country that performed in the family show. So I'm going to go through that first. So I can see people saying, hello. Ethan, you miss Sean? Me too. Sean has a new job. So Sean's been very, very busy. I am doing really well, Kaibo. Thank you for asking. Alesia, Latvia or Croatia? Croatia all day. Art Boy wants to know if I like Shawn Mendes, and I do not. I mean, it's okay. So let me go through. I'm going to run through every country that performed today, every country that's going to be in the grand final. So I'm going to run through those first, and then we can talk. All right? Does that sound good? I think that's what I'm going to do. All right. So mind you, so I'm going to be kind of like look at, I won't be looking too much at the comments. So yes. Anyway, let's go. So let's start off with Ukraine. Ukraine opens the show. And I will say Ukraine ends up being very memorable. I think Ukraine going first isn't necessarily the kiss of death for them because they've got one of the most memorable songs and stage shows. So I basically wrote that it is show stopping. And I would say if I gave any note to Ukraine, I almost wish that Ukraine sung in Ukrainian. I almost think it would have been cool to hear them sing in Ukrainian. That's what I would say. So Spain is up next, and Spain has a terrible spot in the show. The placing is absolutely killing Spain. The song still really takes me nowhere. And honestly, Spain really could have elevated the staging, but I don't think that they did enough. I think, unfortunately, it still ends up being boring. Oh, and hold on to the comment. Ethan, you made the Breathlessly video. You need to post that again. I need you to please post that on Twitter again because that video was so good. So thank you. And also, yes, that video was so good. You need to post that again and tag me on Twitter. You guys know I'm on Twitter at Alesia Michelle. So let's move down the line. I'm going to try and talk about each of the 26 countries. I've already spoken about Ukraine and Spain. So now I'm moving on to Slovenia. Now, y'all know I love Slovenia. Okay, if you watched my live stream of semifinal 2, you should just fast forward to the part where they say that Slovenia won because I basically lost my shit. It was amazing. It was an amazing moment. So I will say, look, Slovenia actually is probably one of the most memorable performances that we have. And it being third in the show, I think was an attempt to maybe keep people watching the show because Slovenia is giving us a show. Yes, it's a show, and Slovenia's song is so much fun. And honestly, the pause in this song actually works. So remember when Dow Bob did the pause and slow down? It didn't really work. It never worked. They should have scrapped it, but they didn't. This pause, I had my reservations, actually works because the audience is actually engaged. So kudos to Alesia and the whole entire Slovenian team. Like, I'm really checking for what y'all bring to Eurovision next year, and I'm so happy that Slovenia made it into the grand final. Moving on to Lithuania. Look, Lithuania is really killed by this running order. It is, but I will say this, watching Lithuania live, before coming here to Lisbon, Lithuania was not necessarily in my bottom, but I just never really listened to the song all the way through. It just wasn't necessarily for me. But I will say, watching it live here in Lisbon has made me appreciate that song so much more. And it's one of my growers. I've got 2 songs this year that really, really grew on me because the live show, I got it. You know, I just really got it. And it also sounded well and translated well to the stage. But I will say Lithuania is definitely being killed by this running order. But here's a good note for Lithuania. In my opinion, Lithuania is giving us the love story that we wanted to have from Spain. Lithuania is kind of telling that story a little bit better. I mean, it truly is a love story that we're getting from Lithuania. And when her husband comes out, it is touching. And I actually think the way that they've used the augmented reality, at first I was kind of nervous when we saw the rehearsals, but I do find it to be quite effective and really thoughtful. So Lithuania should be proud. You know, I think now I'm going to listen to that song a little bit more. And so up next, we've got Austria. So I will say with Austria, I think the juries are really going to like this. I don't know how televoters are going to feel about Austria. I think Austria is a good song. I think the placing is okay. The thing about Austria is Cesar, we need him to be a little bit more charismatic. He's a nice guy, but he's kind of one of those chill, nice guys that's like, hey, I'm just happy to be here. You know, this is great. And we kind of need him to have a little bit of like swag and confidence. And there are moments in the song where I'm like, you can smile now. Like, you know, don't make me turn my heart out. I'm sending to fall down. You know, we need him to, like, when he's talking to the audience and he's kind of walking, like, have a little fun. Loosen up, dude. Loosen up, dude. You're on the Eurovision Song Contest stage. Have some fun with it. But yeah, the staging is really good. I think the only thing with Austria that makes me a little bit worried is I think the juries will appreciate it, but I think televoters, it might be like a meh for them. And the way that they could get over that hump is by, you know, getting him like hype. All right, up next we have Estonia. Okay, and for anyone tuning in now, I'm just going in order, so you've already missed it, but I am going to go back at the end of this and do a little recap, and then we can have a conversation. I'll check out the comments, all right? So Estonia. Estonia is up next. You know, Estonia is early in the show, and Estonia, I think, is one of the few acts that them being in this first half, I don't think is going to hurt them at all, because this song is memorable. You remember it. It sticks out. You're not going to forget it, even if it is in the beginning part of the show. I will say this, in today's rehearsal, she doesn't just sing in Italian. She started off singing in Portuguese, and then we got some German, and then she went back to Italian. So I thought that was interesting. Yeah, if I had a note for Estonia, my note would be that she needs to give us a little bit more in the face. I think she could look to Marian Anderson, who's an opera singer from the United States. And one thing about Marian Anderson, first of all, her voice is amazing. But Marian Anderson had an uncanny ability to really emote in the face without overdoing it, but really emote and kind of give little by little by little. And I do wish a little bit, I wish that she just emoted in the face a little bit more to get us to feel the song. That's the one thing that I think she could be doing. Avril Lavigne just commented, I really hope the UK doesn't come last. Oh, you should stay tuned, because after I get through this recap, I'm going to tell you who I definitely think is going to be in the bottom. So, yes. Next up is Norway now. You guys know how I feel about Norway, but I will say this. For anyone who likes Norway already, you will still like it. I think the augmented reality is really great. It's really thoughtful. The way that they're using the technology is awesome. Norway is most certainly buried in this running order. The running order is not doing them any favors, but honestly, I don't know if they really deserve that many favors. Also, I just have to say, I think if Alexander Rybak really wanted to come back to Eurovision, I think something that he should have thought about doing was just doing maybe an instrumental piece. I think it's been a while. Well, not I think. It's been a while since we just had like an instrumental piece at Eurovision. And I think he should have thought about doing that. And honestly, we might be talking about an actual win. Right now, we're talking about a win, but we really shouldn't be when it comes to Norway. Yeah, and I just personally feel like the future of the Eurovision Song Contest is hanging in the balance if Norway wins. So, let's see. Let's move on to Portugal. Portugal. Okay. I know that the artists have been saying for a while that they want to finish top 10. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't see a top 10 finish for Portugal at the moment. I just don't see a top 10 finish for Portugal right now. I think the running order is killing it. I think the fact that we don't have not one audience shot and Portugal is hosting and we're in Portugal and you're not going to show the audience is weird. I just think this is your moment to like kind of savor this victory, and you and everyone in the crowd is going to be so hyped for Portugal. Everyone's going to be so hyped to see y'all perform. Like, why you wouldn't show that is a mistake, in my opinion. And I'm talking about Portugal. The running order is killing Portugal, but the staging and the styling do bring it back to life. I don't think it's going to finish top 10, but I do think Portugal should be proud. And it's not in my personal bottom. I will say that. Now let's talk about the UK. Because some people were already asking me about the UK. In today's rehearsal, Suri was a little bit off key. And you know, we can't have that. We can't have bum notes. The staging is very, very cool. Now and the staging was really cool last year. Now the UK just needs to find that song. And I don't even know if doing the whole UK Decide process is really the best way to go, if I'm being blunt. I think they just need to work with a good, solid team of songwriters and producers, and they need to pull some record companies into that conversation as well, and they need to just find the song, because clearly the UK has been staging very, very well. They know what they're doing, and that's awesome. Thank you. We've been waiting for y'all to get it together. And here you are, you've gotten it together. Thank you. But again, this is not the song. And unfortunately, I do think the UK is looking at a bottom 5 finish this year, because when I look at the other songs, I just don't see how the UK is going to rise above the bottom 5 this year. But again, this is also one of the most competitive years we've had at Eurovision, and these are definitely the most quality songs we've had in a grand final. Next up, Serbia. Let's talk about Serbia. So I said that I had 2 songs that before seeing them live, I really was like, meh, whatever. The first one was Lithuania, and the second one and last one is Serbia. This song really, really grew on me. The staging, seeing it live, brought it to life. And I think what hurt it was when I first heard the song, we were watching like the streamed out version of their national selection. So the quality was not good. Not only was the quality not good from what we were seeing, the quality was also not good from what we were hearing. You know, it wasn't right. And Serbia really has grown on me. It's kind of a magical moment. I think we've got a couple of moments this year. Estonia is one of them. And Serbia is another one. I mean, just, I think her name is Danica, the one, singing. She is amazing. I could have had a whole song of her just vocalizing and not the man singing the Nova Deska. I could have just had her, to be blunt, and maybe she should think about that. Serbia and any Serbian fans I have out there, maybe y'all should think about just doing like a really nice vocal piece with her. Think about, like, remember the Gladiator song? Whatever. Think about sending something like that next year. That could be a winner from Serbia, and send her, because she could sing and she's charismatic. She could sell it. Yeah. Oh, so Danica. Yeah. Yeah, no, y'all should really like don't do a national selection, even though I think the delegation said that they weren't going to do that again. Maybe we can talk to the delegation and just be like, okay, just put a whole bunch of bad songs and just let's just let her win that, because I think a vocal piece a la the Gladiator, Hano Shalom, Hano from Serbia with her singing it, that's your winner. That could win. Jordan Chisholm says, I think the UK could do the same as Lucy Jones' result, but not any better. No, it's not going to be better than Lucy Jones. This is going to be below Lucy Jones for sure, without a doubt. Yeah. Okay, someone says, I loved your reaction to the Slovenian entry. Ha 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 ha. Look, I love the Slovenian entry. Okay, let me move on from Serbia. I'm going to Germany. All right, and if you just started tuning in, I'm going to go through all the countries that participate, give some comments, and then we're going to do a little like recap after, and I'll have like a conversation with y'all, and I'll talk to y'all about what I think is going to be in the bottom and what I think is likely to hit at the top. Moving on, someone just asked me, do I think Sia will represent Australia? Do I think Sia should represent Australia next year? No, because Sia is an international celebrity and she doesn't have time. She doesn't have time to do this, but maybe Danny Minogue or Kylie has a little bit more time on their hands. Sia doesn't have time to make the Eurovision commitment. But I will say Sia should consider maybe writing a song for Australia and then giving it to an artist who can then sing and interpret that song. Okay, let's do Germany. Look, Germany is, Michael Schultz is one of the best male vocalists we have this year, and that's a fact. I actually had to walk away and buy my lunch during Germany's performance because I did not want to cry and mess up my makeup for the rest of the day because I just put it on. So I could not really watch it all the way through because it's so good. It's so good and it makes me cry every single time. And I'm like now having flashbacks of it and I don't want to cry. Look, they show photos of him as a kid with his dad. And, you know, this is the power, I think, of music. And something that we don't always get at Eurovision is the fact that we have an artist actually singing a song that is truly personal to them. And that doesn't always happen with Eurovision. You know, you have a songwriting team and it doesn't always resonate with the person, but this is a situation where we have that. And I just think what Germany is giving is so good. And I kind of get a little bit annoyed that like Ireland's raising up in the odds, honestly, because I think Germany's song is better and I think it is performed better on a level if we're focusing on, you know, the song and the artists themselves. Germany is so good and I'm seriously about to cry, so I'm going to move on and talk about Albania. Okay, so Albania, it's all about the vocal and that's how it should remain. Thinking about this as a song contest, I don't think that Albania has the strongest song right now, but they do have the strongest male vocalist. So I hope people will appreciate the performance. But I don't think that Albania is going to be top 10, but I would not be surprised if it was top 10 with the juries. Honestly, I think that song, the song could be better, but that vocal is everything. So this is all about the song. Okay. Moving on to France, which I have my French outfit on today because I felt like I had to be, you know, festive for grand finals, you know, so I've got my French outfit on. So if anyone is in Lisbon or walking around the fan zone, yes, I'm wearing my black turtleneck, my red sneakers. Yeah. That's what I'm doing. Amadeus, Australia should definitely ask Sia to write a song for them. She's producing songs 24/7 and even has leftovers that would be good enough. You know what? I absolutely agree with you. And that is actually what I think they should do. I think they should just get a song from Sia and then give it to someone who can actually deliver it properly. And real talk, honestly, Australia, I've been saying that I would help out Ireland, but I guess Ireland doesn't need help. I would help out the UK just because, but maybe my path is to help out Australia. Maybe I need to sing for Australia. And we're going to talk about Australia soon, but let me just get on, let me talk about France. I'm going to talk about France. So France has terrible placing in the running order. They're trying to get buried. I will say that the vocalist had a few little vocal issues in this rehearsal, and with this song, the vocal has to be perfect because there's not a lot going on. So we really need that vocal to be crisp and clear. And I've been saying this all season long. I will say the moment in the stands when we got the hand movement, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit disappointed. I think if you're gonna do the hand movement and you're gonna focus on the audience, bring the house lights up. That to me would be a moment. If you bring the house lights up, that would be a moment. And I'm talking about France for this moment to really make sure that we highlight this moment. The house lights should be turned on, but right now it's still red. So you can't really see it. And I think that moment we end up missing it a little bit. And that's kind of unfortunate. I still expect France to do well, but it has terrible placing in the running order, and it is getting a little bit buried, unfortunately. So up next, I'm going to talk about the Czech Republic, and if you are just tuning in now, I'm going and giving comments on every performer in order, and then after we're going to recap and lay out some predictions, and then I will refer to the chat and answer some questions and whatnot. So Czech Republic, here's the thing, Czech Republic is good. The fact that they have such a great, strong song is really helping them, and Miklos is so charismatic. Here's where things get tricky for the Czech Republic. The act needed they should have hired Sasha Baptiste. They really should have hired Sasha because it kind of needed that Swedish mentality and polish when it comes to putting on a stage show, because this is such a good and strong song. And I think with the staging, it just still looks a little bit, I don't want to say budget, because I feel like budget is low-key shade, but it looks a little budget, especially when you have other performers in this semi that are young guys giving us expensive. We've got Benjamin in this, we've got Milovin in this, and the staging looks real expensive. And Czech Republic's does just, it could use more polish. And I think Miklos is just a young performer. He hasn't been doing this that long. And he didn't have this big label backing and stuff. Someone says, Ireland calling. I am sorry to hear you feel like Ireland is overrated. Do you not think it's a catchy number? No, I mean, I don't think it's catchy. I don't think that that's the point of the song. I don't think it's supposed to be catchy. I think it's a good song. I just think that this is a really tough year. And I think as a song, there are stronger songs in the bunch. Moving on. Yeah. Oh, wait. And to finish up with Czech Republic, they need to have a little bit more of a party on stage. But at the end of the day, it's still a good song. It's still a really strong song. So I expect Czech Republic to do very, very well. And they deserve it, honestly. The song is really, really good. And Miklos has worked really, really hard to do this with, I think, not a lot of outside help. But I think in the future, if he wants to do something, sometimes you got to throw them dollars. Okay, Denmark actually is really memorable. And the crazy thing is I thought that Denmark might qualify, but then become kind of forgettable. But it is so memorable because there's nothing like it. And so it stands out. It sounds good. The harmonies are tight with him and the Vikings. And yeah, the snow still ain't right. I don't know. It's so weird because Ireland's snow is perfect. But then Denmark has no snow. It's weird. I don't know what's going on. It's like Ireland has all the snow that Denmark was supposed to have for their snowstorm. Yeah. RPT, y'all kind of played Denmark on that. Y'all should have given them some snow. I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, up next we've got Australia, and some people have already talked to me a little bit about Australia in the comments. So now I'm talking Australia. Here's the thing. That vocal has to be perfect, and it's not. And I am, as a person who is a singer who has actually had surgery on their vocal cords, I am concerned for Jessica Mauboy's vocal cords. I'm thinking after this, we're going to hear some type of story about her having a nodule, a node, a cyst, a polyp, or something. Because Boo Boo she's straining through to hit them notes. Okay, wait. Top Cat Rocks. Since we're talking about Australia, I will look at this comment from Top Cat Rocks. Australia. Sia is with Warner Publishing. Sony Music Australia bankroll the contest participation with SBS having their mission statement asking for a diverse artist from the label. So you're basically saying that Sia wouldn't be available. Well, that's unfortunate, Australia, because Sia is a gem. And that woman can write a song, okay? She can write a song, and look, Sia would be. That would be the dream team. It wouldn't matter what she wrote; the song would be good. I mean, really, we could have any genre; it would be good. But maybe y'all will be able to convince Kylie or Danny. But then again, honestly, if Kylie or Danny came, we wouldn't be getting vocal, but we'd be getting a good stage show. You know what I'm saying? Okay, more on Australia. There's a moment where she kind of interacts with the crowd, and I think some people like that. For me, I find it kind of jarring in a song competition to have someone passing the mic, because it's like, no, boo, boo, boo. Like, it's your turn to sing. Like, we're judging you. We don't need you passing the mic over to the audience. So for me, I was kind of like, no, I don't know. But yeah, I do think Australia is still going to do well. And I will say, Jessica is such a charismatic performer. She's selling the song. So it's engaging and it is memorable, really off the basis of her. I think she's really charismatic, and that's what brings this performance to life. So then after Australia, we have a break. And so we have a break in the show, and then we come back with Finland, which apparently they say is not really the best thing to have breaks, to come back after a break. But look, Sara Aalto is a showgirl. We're talking Finland right now. She deserves a top 10 finish. I don't know if it'll happen, but she deserves a top 10 finish. There's really nothing wrong with this song. There's really nothing wrong with the performance. I just feel like Finland deserves a top 10 finish this year. I think they're giving us quality. I said it before, Sara Aalto is just a showgirl. It's like she's meant to be, and by that I mean like she's meant to be performing and being on stage, and she's great. Finland, I hope. So up next we have Bulgaria. Okay, Bulgaria looks great. I actually got chills at the end of the performance, and that's one thing, like every time I've seen it, I get chills just at that last note. And I think people forget that when you watch a song, they always say it matters how you start and how you finish. And Bulgaria starts strong and they finish strong. Now I have to give a critique, because y'all know I love Bulgaria. It's not really a critique for them. It's a critique for whoever is the sound engineer for the Eurovision Song Contest, because the sound was off last year. It was horrible. It's better this year. It's not as bad as it was last year. But that sound mixing person is killing it for Bulgaria. And I mean killing it in not a good way. They all still sound good. But if that sound engineer was really doing what they needed to do for Bulgaria, I would say that Bulgaria is winning. I would most definitely say that Bulgaria would win. But yeah, I just think, yeah. So for anyone just tuning in now, I see like my tick has gone up. I'm basically going in the running order of the show. I'm going to give notes on each performance, and then we're going to talk interval act, host, and then we're going to get down into the comments, and I'll start having like a little bit more of a conversation. Yeah. So, Moldova. It's just fun and cute. Moldova's about to get a lot of points, y'all. Moldova is about to get a lot of points this year, and it's deserved. It's a fun show. I don't think that Moldova will win, I don't think it'll get that many points, but it is fun. It is memorable, and it is sung very, very well. Sung very, very well. Up next, we got Sweden, and I'll tell you right now, Sweden could win. Whether you like it or not, Sweden could win. I think this year we're going to have kind of a split vote. I think the 12 points are going to be erratic, and we got to really keep an eye on who's getting those consistent 8s and 10s. And Sweden is set up to be getting some consistent 8s and 10s. When I showed my American friends all the performances, I would tell you this was what they thought. Then this is my American friends. Sweden was their favorite, and this is them seeing the live performances. Sweden was their favorite. Then they liked Israel, and then they liked Bulgaria. And I'll tell you why they didn't like Cyprus. They didn't like Cyprus because the minute that they tuned into Cyprus, they were just like, oh, is this woman trying to be Beyonce? Oh, we're done. And they just completely shut off after that. And I was like, but no, like, it's still good. It's still good. And they just were like, no, they could not. They were just not here for it. So that was what they thought. So going back to Sweden, I think Sweden could win because I think this year we're going to have to look at who's getting the consistent 8 and 10 points from the juries, as opposed to, I think what may happen, those like split votes of random 12s being kind of doled out willy-nilly. I just don't think we're going to get consistent 12 points in the way that we have in the past couple of years. So there's that. Now we got to talk about Hungary. Okay, Hungary is giving us feeling and fireworks. Feeling and fireworks. Hungary is good. Hungary could win the televote. I'm saying it right now. Hungary could easily win the televote. And yeah. The NIM says, is Beyonce even a big deal in Europe? Most people I know aren't as obsessed with her as Americans. That's why I said it doesn't really matter what my friends said. All I'm saying is that what they said was that they liked Sweden, Israel second, and then it was Bulgaria. But when I showed them Cyprus, they just tuned out for Cyprus. They point blank just tuned out for Cyprus. Hold on real quick. My uncle is calling me. I'm just about to say I can't talk to him real quick. Hey, I'm still alive, but I can't talk right now because I am still in Europe. Okay? Hello? Yes, I'm still in Europe, but I'm alive, but I can't talk right now, and I'm going to call you back. Okay. Okay. I will. I already got it. Okay, bye. Y'all, my uncle is 84, so I got to make sure he knows that. I got to make sure that he's alive, and then I have to make sure that he knows that I'm alive. So there we go. So yeah, moving on. Yeah, for Hungary could win, and Hungary's going to get a top 10 finish. It's what's going to happen. Up next is Israel. Now, I'm going to just start off by saying this. Look, y'all, whether you like the song or not, Israel deserves to win. Israel gave us quality this year. They gave us quality. And so whether you like the song or not, they do deserve to win. This is, yeah. Pablo said, bring him some presents. Yes, I already got his gift. And he actually said on the phone, he was like, bring me back something good. And I already got his gift. So I'm a good niece. Yeah, I just think Hungary could win the televote. Yeah. Hungary could be like the Moldova of last year where no one was really checking for it because they just thought it'd be too strange or they thought it would be too kitsch. And then everyone really gravitates towards it and ends up surprising a lot of folks. I will say if Israel doesn't win, I think all the producers might be kicking themselves thinking maybe we should have said like, he's a bubba boy and just done bubba as opposed to buckum. AKA the chicken noises, because y'all just seem to really be like harping on the fact that it has chicken noises, even though that's not what the song is about. And that's not even like the majority of the song. Like, I don't really get that. I think the song is still really good. It's sung really well. It's performed really well. I do think the staging has let it down a little bit. I think they could have done more with the staging. And I do think I prefer the outfits Netta was wearing in the pre-parties. Like, I just don't think the Harajuku Asian inspired K-pop, J-pop, whatever styling was the movement. I think they should have had her in something else. And if they had her in something else, then maybe we could have had different decor behind her. So then it could have helped the stage show. Israel is out of breath every time. Her respiration technique is bad. No, I haven't really seen that. I haven't really seen that. I just know her vocal has been really, really, really good. I just do think the staging and styling is letting it down a little bit. And maybe they should have done baba boy as opposed to buck up boy. Yeah, because I guess people just really are not into the chicken noises. So whatever, but it does deserve to win. And honestly, Israel could still win because I'm going to tell you, when I saw semifinal 1 live in the arena in Portugal, all the girls went, they didn't care about any other artists. Cyprus, they were like, whatever, I don't care. All those girls in the audience were screaming for Netta like the entire time. Just saying. Israel's vocals were really off in the semi. Have you seen it via TV? No. The semi I saw live, obviously. I was in the arena, but every time I've heard it sung in the rehearsals and the press conference, her vocal has been fine. Her vocal has been fine. If we want to talk about vocals, we could talk about a whole bunch of other countries. But we'll get there. So now we're on to, there's a country that I'm not going to talk about. I'm just going to throw that out there right now. I'm not going to talk about this country at all, mostly because of the ridiculousness that I've seen on my Twitter feed, and people try to put words in my mouth, like say things that I know I didn't say. And I just want to give a message out there to everybody. I don't need to infer or allude to anything. If I want to say something, I will say it. So listen to what I actually say. I don't need anyone trying to be like, well, you're trying to imply. I'm not trying to imply a damn thing. I am saying what I say. Okay. So I just want everybody to know that. All right. So there's one country I'm just not even going to talk about. So we're just not even going to go there. Next up is Ireland. So now, honestly, Ireland, I don't think is a bad song. I think Ireland is giving us quality. I think Ireland, honestly, has been giving us quality the past couple of years. And for some reason, other people just haven't really been into it, like Europe. But I really do like Ireland's song, and I like their entry. I do personally think they should have just had the dancers the whole time. That's just my personal opinion. I think we should have just not, like, maybe just had Ryan in a dark corner, maybe show a little bit of his face, and then just do, make it like a so you think you can dance kind of performance. Some people are like, why my country? Well, you could check my Twitter feed and see what people from your country have been saying to me, because it's absolutely wild. It's absolutely wild and crazy. And again, I don't need to infer anything. If I wanted to say that something was something, I would say that it is something. But if I don't say that it is something, then that means I don't think it is. I just want to insert the Nene meme. I said what I said. And so I said what I said. And then I think other people wanted to take it a whole nother way. And I don't want any of that. And so I just don't want to talk about it at all. And I'm just not going to, because I didn't come here to be like some type of... I came here to talk about Eurovision, and I came here to talk about music and songs, and that's what I want to talk about. And I don't want to talk about anything else. I just want to talk about music and songs, because that's why I love Eurovision. And I want to thank everybody who has watched my channel and subscribed and all that stuff. And honestly, in keeping my comments, like my comment section on my page, very respectful. I've seen some other like Eurovision blog sites, and I like to think that that people can feel safe to comment and express your opinion without feeling attacked or accused of anything or any name calling. Like, I want people to come to my page and know that we can actually talk about entries in a very like respectful way. And just because I don't like something doesn't mean that I want to like bash anybody, because that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to talk about music. I'm trying to talk about staging, and I'm trying to talk about vocals and performances. And I just think that that's like the most important thing. Okay. So moving along back to Ireland. Yeah, Ireland has the snow that Denmark couldn't get. So I don't know, maybe the Danish delegation needs to go over to Ireland and be like, who did y'all pay on the on the low? Because y'all got the snow and we don't have nothing. Like, what's going on? Like, Denmark has like baby flakes and Ireland has like, winter. They have like actual winter. I will also say that I kind of don't want Ireland to win. Um, because I do like variety of music. And although I think the song is really good, and I think we have so many like rightful winners this year, which makes it so complicated because there are so many people that deserve to win this year. And that's kind of like a good thing. It's a good problem to have. But I do think that there are stronger songs, like song competition, vocal, everything. Um, I just think that there are better songs. And also I think this song is and as some of you know, or you should know this, like I am gay, I have a partner. I think this is being hailed as like a gay anthem or something like that. And it's odd for me because I'm like, well, it's not really a gay anthem. Like, yes, we have like gay dancers, we have that type of love story being portrayed on the stage, which is dope. And I think that that's good. And I think, again, like I said, I thought we should have just had the dancers the whole time. At the end of the day, this is still like a song competition. And I do think that there are stronger packages where it's like the staging is good, the vocal is good, the song is good, and we've got this nice package. Whereas I think if you look at Ireland's song, like, is it as strong as some of the other songs we have? Not really, you know what I mean? But is the stage show and the presentation really good? Yes. Is the vocal good? Yes, sometimes. Honestly, in this run through this rehearsal, his vocal really wasn't where it needed to be. He had some bum notes here and there. So he just has to be really mindful of that because, he is singing the song. So we need it sung well. So let's move on to Cyprus. I know this is the moment you've been waiting for because I've already seen the fire in the comments, all the fire. Look, the vocal has improved. Cyprus's vocal has improved. And I think that was the biggest complaint about Eleni was her vocal. The vocal has improved. The vocal was improved. Hold on. I'm gonna have to, the vocal was improved. Look, I think some people are mad at it because they're thinking about it like, oh, she's just trying to copy Beyonce. But look, isn't everybody trying to copy Beyonce? Like, let's be real. Like, when Rihanna first came out, they tried to pit her against Beyonce. Every new young female artist that comes out is borrowing from Beyonce. I mean, and real talk, hasn't everybody stolen from Madonna and Janet Jackson enough? Like, is anything even really original at this point? I just think kind of comparing it to Beyonce, like, oh, well, she's just stealing it from Beyonce. It's just sort of unfair. Like, I do think it is, it's unfair. Eleni is killing it on the stage. It's a good show. The vocal is better. I mean, Cyprus could win, and it wouldn't be a bad idea. and Cyprus hasn't won before. And honestly, I do have to say that I just don't I do give preferential treatment to countries that have not won before. I just think that there's something to be said for a country that gives us quality, is consistent, has not won before, and then comes with some heat, some fuego, some fire. I really do think that I really just think Cyprus could win. I think it deserves to win. But with that said, let's move on to Italy. Okay, so we have Italy. I think Italy's song is really dope. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Italy's song this year, and it's sort of unfortunate because I really prefer this song in comparison to what Italy did last year. Like, I thought Italy last year was good, But I do like Italy's song more this year. Like Italy's song this year, I can really listen to in my car. Like it's kind of my taste. So I would say that. And I think Italy is conveying the message of their song in a better way than France. Because I think we have to kind of compare Italy and France. They're both message songs. They're both direct to the final. I think they're both done by artists that are credible artists. Although the Italian duo, I think they've been doing this a little while longer than the French duo. But I do think, yeah, I do feel like Italy's staging is slightly more impactful than France's. But France has always had a difficult time when it comes to staging an act appropriately. All right, so let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation about our bottom. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, because now we have to get into, I guess, the predictions. So this is the moment everyone's been waiting for. So here are the songs that I think are going to be in the bottom. I think that I think the UK is going to be in the bottom. It's unfortunate, but this is just a really tough year. I think Suri is great. I will say her vocal was off key earlier today. That's not going to help her, obviously. But yeah, I do feel like the UK is going to be in the bottom. The thing is, I don't know if they'll be the last spot. Ooh, but they could be. They really, 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 really could be. It won't be like nil point, but the televote might not vote for UK at all. Ooh, yeah, I hate saying it. Yeah, so UK is definitely going to be in the bottom. I'll tell you right now, Norway should be in the bottom, but it won't be. It won't be. It won't be. Oh well. I do think Slovenia might end up in the bottom, but I think the televote has an opportunity to maybe save it. I just feel like Slovenia is the running order is not helping Slovenia, and I don't think the juries are going to help Slovenia at all. And I also don't think it helped that Alesia in the press conference after was like, "Look, I wrote the song in 10 minutes. That's why it's so repetitive." Which I love her. I love her. I really do. But I do think that Slovenia is going to end up in the bottom because of placing and Europe tends to not really respond well to like hip hop anyway. But honestly, I'm just happy that Slovenia made it in the final because I felt like it had a place in the final. And so I'm just glad that it made it in the final. All right. Well, UK will not. So Jordan, you say UK will not get 0 points. The UK won't get 0 points. However, it is not going to not be in the bottom. It's going to be in the bottom. is going to be in the bottom. Sorry. Yeah. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. The only thing that's keeping a certain country out of a certain country that I'm not really going to speak on, the only thing that's keeping a certain country out of the bottom, I think, is going to be the juries. But there's a certain country that should be in the bottom, but the juries will pull it out. And honestly, the song is good and it's sung well, but I'm not featuring it. Anyway, moving on. Serbia, look, I don't think Serbia will be in the, well, actually, hold on. Serbia could end up in the bottom, but by the juries. I think Serbia will get played by the juries. I think the televote will help Serbia. And I think Serbia should get some jury points, but I just don't think it'll get enough. And I think Serbia might end up in the bottom. But yeah, I don't know. Also, I hate to say this. Portugal, I think, is going to be in the bottom. I do think Portugal is going to be in the bottom. I hate to say that. I think the styling and the staging is saving it, but that running order is killing it. And the fact that they're hosting. And, you know, traditionally people who host don't always get a lot of points. And we've seen that happen before where really good songs from host countries just get like thrashed just because it's the host country. So I think with that paired with the running order, I do think Portugal's going to end in the bottom five. And so I'm talking about the bottom five right now. For those who just tuned in, I'm talking about what countries I think might end up in the bottom. And so far I have UK, Portugal, and Serbia. And like I said, my note with Serbia is I think Serbia will end in the bottom, really, because I think the juries are going to play it out. But I think people at home will really like it because Serbia really is giving us something ethnic. And it's kind of the stuff that I really like as an American to see in Eurovision, because I like seeing like things that are ethnic and like of the country. So yeah. Next up, I think Spain is going to be in the bottom. I don't know why. Spain, I think, is going to end up in the bottom five. If it's not in the bottom five, I think the televote is saving it. I think the televote will save it, but nope. That running order and then that staging, I'm not seeing it. The running order and that staging is not doing what it needs to do to really highlight Spain. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Yeah, it just is what it is. Here we go. What else? You don't win when you're fourth. Ha ha ha. It's a terrible spot to be put. Yeah, you said it, not me, but it's true. The NEMP says, unfortunately, Spanish Euro fans can't vote for their own country. This is true. Alexander Alex says, Bulgaria is sending gay men and put to that a black individual, something new for a Balkan country that needs credit for amazing song performed in a great way. Look, I still expect Bulgaria to be in the top 10. I think Bulgaria still has an opportunity to be top 5 because I think the juries are going to appreciate it. And like I said, every time I've seen it, and I've seen it now multiple times, I get chills. It's something about it that I think for maybe us in the Eurovision bubble, we think, oh, it's not bright enough. It's not this, it's not this. But I think for people outside of it, I think they look into it and go like, oh, this is so different. It's so unique. And the song is so good. But I will say that the sound mixing is off for the performance. And that's not their fault. It's the people at the EBU that they've hired to do this sound mixing. Someone says, do you think we're going to have a Jamala case this year? And I guess by that you mean someone winning the televote, like juries going with Dami Eam as their number one, and then the televote going with Sergey, who I think was 5th with the juries, which that was trash. I mean, that was absolute trash. And so he was like 5th with the jury. And so then it just worked out to where Jamala won. I think you are absolutely correct. I think that is absolutely the situation that we are going to be having this year at Eurovision. I also want to add that I think Austria is running the risk of being in the bottom 5. I don't think it really deserves to be there. I don't think it really belongs there. But I do think it could find its way in there. Someone says that they think so. Says Serbia can do a Hungary 2017 because of the ethnic yet modern vibe. I wish that was the case, but I do not expect Serbia to come top 10. Hungary was a whole different thing last year. Hungary also had like kind of the hype behind it last year that I think also helped it. I mean, Hungary was in my top 10 last year and Hungary's in my top 10 this year. But yeah, Serbia is not giving us enough. And I would say another reason why it's not giving us enough is because Serbia's staging, they should have talked to me. If anyone knows the delegation, tell them to talk to me, because that staging could have really taken us to another place. Where we're at is not bad. Where they've taken us is a great place. I'm not hating it, but it could have been better with some really, really thoughtful staging. But I like the styling. Okay. Amadeus says, Alesia, do you think the bottom 5 are going to have a surprisingly high number of points this year? Because I can see that happening in such a competitive year. I do agree with that. I don't think that we're going to have like a nil point year. I don't think I don't think that we're going to have that type of year. So when I say the UK is going to be in the bottom, I'm not necessarily saying like, oh, it's about to get 0 points because it doesn't deserve 0 points. I just think that's just where it's going to land because this year is so good, so competitive, and we have some gems. You know, we have some gems this year. So, yeah. What else? What do I think about Finland? I think Finland deserves a top 10 finish. It's just this final is so good. So apparently Hadsi Eurovision fan says Hadsi just posted about Eurovision on Twitter. Well, I'm telling you, Eleni, I think, is actually going to be the Hadsi of this year. And by that, what I mean is that she might not win, but she will go down in history as having one of the most memorable performances. Hold on. I think we just heard Susie is here. Where is Susie? Hold up. Let me just see. I'll be right back. Okay, let me get back to doing my job, y'all. All right. Okay. So now I'm gonna respond to some comments. Do I think Germany could do top 10? I think it should. I don't know if it will, but I do think it should. Eurovision fan Susie was here today. Yeah, well, actually, I have to say, so I had posted a video almost a year ago, basically a preliminary video to Eurovision 2018. And I essentially laid out the fact that I needed Susie to be incorporated in some type of capacity. And thankfully, Susie is making an appearance in the grand final. Because honestly, if we had gone through this whole entire process without Susie being on that stage on some level, it would have been shameful. And everybody in Portugal should be ashamed because we, the Eurovision fan base, the Eurovision delegation, we love her and we needed to see her. Okay? Yeah, let's talk about the hosts. So someone's asking me from Greece, hey, Alesia, Greece is out. Your feelings on that? Greece is out because they deserve to be out because they didn't listen to me and they should have listened to me because the staging was terrible and Yana's vocal was not what it needed to be. And it wasn't really what it needed to be throughout the song. So although I love the song, it was just like great song wasted because if you're not willing to stage things the way that they need to be staged and you're not willing to make sure that that vocal is on a point, then you don't get to qualify. That's just the sad thing that happens. So, yeah, let's talk about the host. Can we just, in the comments, let's talk about the host because I want to hear what y'all think. And yeah, let's talk about the host. Here we go. So, am I the only person who likes the green room host? No. Klaus Vest, Philomena is great. I think we could have just had Philomena and what's the young lady? Let me ask. Who's the lady from the CSI? No. The one that's the American one. Who is what's her name? Daniela? That's her name? Daniela? Okay, we should have just had Daniela and Philomena done. That's my opinion. I don't think we needed 4 hosts. It was too many. It was too many. We didn't need 4 hosts. And I think we could have streamlined just a little bit and we could have had Philomena and we could have had Daniela Rua. Yes, that's her name. Okay, Susie deserved a host. Well, I don't know Susie's skills. I don't know her hosting skills, but I do think the fact that they are bringing her on the stage that's all I needed. That's all we really needed. Who was the one who gave the votes for Portugal last year? I don't remember. Who was it? I don't remember. I don't remember. Host, I'm watching you and others. Yes, so I have decided I will be live streaming the grand final. So if you are watching Home Alone, don't watch Home Alone. You can watch it with me and we can talk in the comments. It'll be a great time. I'm hoping that this time the beer will be colder here in the fan lounge because that beer was warm and I need my beers cold. All right. Let's talk about, so we could have Pedro for the press conference. Oh, I agree with you. Actually, I liked both of the press conference guys. Pedro is like the blonde one, right? Tell me in the comments who I like. I like both of the hosts in the press conference. I think both of them are great. I love the fact that we have women on stage though. So with that whole women and like girl power, I just say we could have had Daniela and Filomeno, and I think that would be great. So here, oh yes, ice cold beer. Sean Connor, you agree with me? Yeah, we need ice cold beers, man. Wait, both of them are named Pedro? Are you lying? Wait, are they really? Are both? Hold on. You know, I just need you to be here to be my fact checker. But the host in the green room. Hi, introduce yourself.
Yeah,
to
I'm
people.
Alvaro Aragonês. I'm from Portugal. This is my third Eurovision, and I love Alesia Michel.
I paid him to say that.
Yeah.
I really did. No, so who are both the press conference guys named Pedro?
Yeah, Pedro.
They're both named Pedro?
Yeah, Pedro Penin and Pedro Granger.
Okay, which one has the brown hair? Well, the dark hair.
Penin.
I like Pedro Penin slightly more than the blonde one, but I like both of them. So, yes, we could have had them. Maybe. Actually, I have to say this. So let's talk about the interval act. Dear Portugal, why don't y'all just send like something like that as your song? Like, don't even do Festival de Cansao. Just send one of those songs, something like that, because that was good.
Really?
No, not Salvador. The one, the interval act.
Playa?
Both of them. Any of them.
Okay.
That was good. That was really good. Y'all need to send that in maybe 5 years because it'll be enough time passed for you to win again. And then when we have the hosting, we can have Filomena and Pedro Penai. Wait, the Pedro Penai? Penin. And they can host it.
Yeah.
And Daniela Rua can just stay in the United States and look cute.
Oh.
Susie was doing a speech or something, I think, by the way. Oh, really? I need to see her. Someone needs to is she still there?
No. She's not.
I still have not met Susie, and I need to meet her. Yeah. Do you think that Italy can overshadow Cyprus because it's after? No. What I think Italy could do, though, is steal some of those votes from France. That is what I do think could happen. The predictions show that Google searches has been favoring Israel. Does that mean Cyprus could get done by Israel? Or could this show that Israel could definitely win? Here's the thing. I think that Israel dropping down in the odds last week actually put it in a really good place. Someone just asked, Cat on a Cloud is asking who Susie is. Because somebody in the comments, please school Cat on a Cloud on the amazingness that is Yo Quiero Ser Tua and Susie. Okay? Get on it. I am voting Serbia, Cyprus, Israel, and Finland. Who am I voting? Well, I'm not voting for anybody because I'm American, so I can't vote. Yeah, I can't vote. Yes. Okay. Danaeus Greeks, what do I think Lithuania will hit? Lithuania is getting killed by the running order. The running order is killing Lithuania. Yeah. Someone from Greece asked me, Alesia, do you think that the U.S. has to enter the Eurovision Song Contest? I hope not. On all that is holy, I hope we mind our business and never participate. Or vote, really. Maybe it'd be cool if we could vote, because that would really be interesting, because we don't necessarily have country allegiances unless you're an immigrant. And I think it could be very interesting to see what America would choose, especially American televoters, because I don't think it would be that clear. I think it'd be interesting, and we'd definitely be a wild card. Maybe one year I could they could let America vote just to see what would happen, because I think it would be crazy. Anna asks, Alesia, do you think that the second half being packed with so many favorites could lead to an act in the first half winning? The only act in the first half that I honestly think could win is Estonia. I think Estonia was where I was like, because Estonia still stands out. And that's really the key. Estonia still stands out. And with Norway, there's an annoyance because it's Alexander like Rybak or whatever. And whatever, but I don't think he could win. I don't even want to speak that juju into existence. I just want to be real positive. But I really do think if we're talking about a winner from the first half, we're talking about Estonia. I would love to have like my hope in the Eurovision Song Contest, like revived by Germany overtaking Ireland, because I just think Germany's song is more thoughtful and it's more personal than what Ireland is giving. Although I think the staging is very thoughtful for Ireland, I just think that it's not like it's his personal story that's being acted out, you know? Whereas with Germany, we have like something that's actually personal. And I don't cry at Ireland's performance. I cried the first time I saw the staging. I don't cry anymore. But Germany has made me cry every single time. Every single time.
I go away, okay.
Well, hi, hey, can he go away? He's cute, but we don't need him. Damn, Daniel.
Yeah, I'm going to make my
Damn,
work.
you coming with fire. But thank you.
Yeah.
Jordan Davis, I agree, but I wish there was more access to the contest in the U.S., watching, voting, etc. I agree. I think that the best thing we could have happen is for us to not have it on logo and have that geo block removed. But honestly, I heard the geo block is not because of logo. It's actually because of, I think, the record companies and something about licensing and music and whatever. I think it's like a record company thing. It's weird. Max, you said, I heard that the EBU is working with the US on an American version. They're just talking to like production companies. It's not the same thing. They're just talking to some production companies. It's not the same thing. Blue Shade Boy, Alesia, thoughts on Australia? My thoughts on Australia is that vocal is not what it needs to be. It'll probably finish top 10, although it's not necessarily in my personal top 10 because I think the song is weak and her vocal hasn't been what it needs to be. But she is a charismatic performer, and I think her charisma is selling the song, which I think is a good thing. But yes. Lucky 12 says, I have to be honest, people are underestimating Netta. She could still snatch the win. People just forgot the initial hype. I absolutely agree with you. I think Israel going down in the betting odds last week was the best thing to ever happen to them, because now she's a little bit of an underdog and the song is still quality. So here we are. So the EBU decided to put Israel and Cyprus sitting one next to the other in the green room, indicative of what's to come. I agree. I think that's something we have to think about. I think we have to think about televote scores. I mean, yeah. So Patrick Ambrose, my opinion on Ireland being third in the odds and rising. I don't think Ireland should win this year. I'm sorry. It's not one of my winners. It's not even in my top 10. Yeah, but I don't think it's a bad song. I think this year is just a really competitive song, and I think we have stronger songs. Okay, someone that just has a number, they go, Alesia Michelle, I think Norway will unfortunately score high because of the singer, not the song. I agree with you. What else? Ukraine 2008 or 2018? 2018, I'm going to go with the upgrade, you know. Toe Ramos, what's wrong with the Portuguese song? There's nothing wrong with the song. The song is really good. What's killing it is the running order. Yeah, what's killing it is the running order this year. Graham asked, where do you think Ireland will end up position-wise? I think Ireland is going to end up being in the top 10, even though it shouldn't be there. So, yeah. What else? Oh, Tanya says the EBU is helping Cyprus to win because of running order both times. Well, you know, to be honest, they have a little bit more information than we do. They actually have televote scores from the semis, and they actually already have the jury scores at this point. And so there's a level of what they have to do to kind of make sure that that is balanced, to respect the numbers that they've seen before. So I'm willing to let the professionals be the professionals and do their thing. Cameron Preston, who's going to finish last in your opinion? Ooh, honestly, I think the UK. I think it's going to be the UK. And I hate to say that because it's not a bad song and Suri's great and the song is not horrible. Did I say that? The staging is good. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Okay. You know, asked Alesia Michelle, do you think Hungary would stand out between Sweden and Israel? Yeah. I think Hungary could have been in the first half and would have still stood out and could have still had the opportunity to win the televote. Because it's that good, it's that different. You could have put Hungary kind of anywhere, in my opinion. Another question. Oh, Rob Sehik. I'm probably saying this wrong. Because you love Leia Sirk, I invite you to Slovenia. Well, thank you. I would love to go to Slovenia. I actually have a really good friend who lives in Slovenia, so she's been trying to get me to visit her, so maybe I will. So Body Art is saying everyone is saying that Norway is going to win. Here's the problem. It could win. It could win. Tanya Perhag goes, who's winning the Barbara Dex Award? Honestly, I think it could be that girl from FYR Macedonia. It could be her. That's pretty atrocious. And honestly, I hate Netta State styling. I hate it. I don't think that we should be doing the J-pop, K-pop styling, staging, vibes. I think we should have done something maybe just more reflective of like Israel. I mean, is Netta Jewish? Is she Jewish? If she's Jewish, then yeah, like I think that would have been dope. And low-key, I think that would have been dope for like all like the Jewish girls all across the world. Like for her to do something. Moldova be in the top 10. Yep, I think so. Hi, Alesia. What do you think of Lisbon, Portugal so far? You should watch my video. I did like a little video of me like about town. You know, I go home tomorrow and I'll be sad about it. Marcus goes, hey, Alesia, what do you think of Salvador calling this year's songs trash? Well, he probably hasn't listened to all of them. So we should start from there. And I think low-key he kind of should have just kept his mouth shut. Like, just let people vote first. Shit. And then, like, you could have waited. You didn't have to say anything, honestly. You could have just been like, oh, I haven't listened to the songs and lie. That would have been better. Hey, it's me, Mario. Hi, Alesia. What do you think about the Spanish song? I think the song is boring. And I think the staging is boring. And it's probably going to be in the bottom 5 again. Think about that. Maybe not all be countries next to them or in close relation to them. Many people do not know the history of Cyprus, and many people will think it's part of Turkey. Will Cyprus lose votes? No. Because I think if anything that this week has taught us is that nobody is safe and that this block voting thing kind of be. I think a lot of juries are going to have to be scratching their heads anyway, because most of the countries that they would vote for, you know, because of block voting, didn't even qualify. So good luck with that. Do I think Slovenia can get a surprise by getting in the top 10? I think if Slovenia gets in the top 10, it's going to be because of the televote. But the running order is killing it. Eurovision fan asks, Hovig or Eleni? Well, considering the fact that I didn't even really want Hovig to qualify last year, honestly, I'm definitely going to go with Eleni. So Max asks, I heard that the EBU, oh wait, no, I already got that question. So where are we? Stefan goes, Israel is not safe enough to host ESC. What do you think? Plenty of people travel to Israel. I know, like, for me being an American, I think there is a weird, complicated thing. Like, they make you, like, do some type of paperwork or whatever, or something like that. So Beatrice Pinzon, mention Belgium like you did Greece, please. Oh, well, and so, well, let me ask this first. So Blanche or Cynic? Easy, Blanche. Blanche had a better song, a way better song. Even though Belgium's song this year was good, City Lights is still a bop. I still listen to that. And I have friends in America when I play it in my car, they're like, oh my God, like, what is this? I'm like, Eurovision. Yeah. Blonde, Scenic, the vocal was off. But really what killed Belgium this year was that staging. That staging and styling was not right for this. And you lost her on stage and you lost her. Yeah. So Billy Poon goes, do you think now that many Soviet countries are out this year, this will help Milevin? I think it could help. I think it'll help Moldova more than Ukraine. I think it'll help Moldova more than Ukraine. Someone, so goes, I think the end of the day, not everybody votes for their favorite, but for the songs they know that are most likely to win. I don't know. I think people focus on those with that. So those top 5, top 10 songs, I think, get a little bit. But I do think ultimately people do, and televoters, I actually think are more biased than the jury, to be blunt, especially with the numbers that we've seen over the past couple of years. Yeah. Juan wants to know thoughts on France and Slovenia staging. I think Slovenia's staging is better than France, and I think with France, they're missing a key opportunity to really get their message across, and I think they're slightly not hitting the mark with that. Unfortunate thing on the camera and Eleni's performance. Yeah, I like the whole performance. I think it's great. I don't think there's anything to change. Steven, who do I really want to win? I said this at the beginning of my video. At this point, oh, the stream is bad. I'm sure it's bad. Yeah, this internet has not been good. Who do I really want to win? I just don't want Norway or Ireland to win. As long as Norway and Ireland don't win, I think I'll be a really happy camper this year. Okay. If Estonia wins, I don't think Salvador is happy about a lot of things. So let's just think about that. I think he'll be happy that the competition is over and there's someone else that gets to be the Eurovision winner and it's no longer him. I think that's what he'll be happy about. Biggest disappointment live. I thought Israel could have done more with the stage show. Yeah. More with the stage show. Oh no, but my biggest disappointment live was Greece. Greece was my number 2. I was thinking Greece could have won. That was my biggest disappointment live. And here they are, not in the final. Exactly where it deserved to be, not in the final. Because that staging was horrible and the vocal was wrong. Max N, do you think Italy's on-screen work well? Yes, I think they're getting the message across, and that's something that France is not doing with their staging, and I think that is going to be tricky. Hey, it's me, Mario. Hey, Alesia, who do I think is going to win the televote? I think we're looking at Estonia maybe, but then they got killed with the running order, so maybe not Estonia, but Hungary might win the televote, and Israel could still win the televote. I really think that Israel could still win the televote because that song has so much hype outside. And I think in the Eurovision bubble, we've kind of been like, oh man, I wish it was staged differently. But for regular people, they still love that song and they still think it's dope. Bob Matt, what country could be equal in televoting and juries, like second or third to both of them? Maybe that would be Ireland. Even though I don't think Ireland deserves that many jury points personally. I just think there are stronger songs this year. So wait, actually, maybe that would be Bulgaria. That could be Bulgaria, where Bulgaria's like third in juries, third in televote, or like fourth in jury, fourth in televote. I could see that happening. Stas, are you disappointed that Croatia didn't make it? A little bit, but not really. It was a really tough semi. And honestly, the one that got left behind. Wait, am I thinking about? Right? Yeah. It was semifinal one. Croatia was semifinal. Honestly, the one that I really felt that got left behind was Switzerland. Switzerland, because Croatia's song was not that good. Yeah. Someone's asking me, why do people say Norway could win? It's because of Alexander Rybak. Okay, well, that was my recap and my predictions and things. I'm gonna sign off now. I'm gonna eat some food and get like my station all prepped up, because I hope some of you, if you are watching Home Alone, don't watch Home Alone. Watch with me tonight or on YouTube. Thanks. Bye, bye, bye.